In this lesson we're going to be talking about spreadsheet math, and we're going to start off by looking at how to do the four basic functions, which is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. As part of addition, we're also going to look at a special formula that's built into the spreadsheet called sum, and we'll take a look at how that makes your life a little bit easier when adding a column of numbers. So the first thing we're going to start off with is just basic addition. So I'm going to head into a cell. I'm going to click in cell A6 and I'm going to type in the number 10, and when I press enter it takes me to the next cell, makes that one active and puts the number 10 in that previous cell. I'm now going to put 5 in cell A7, press enter, it takes me to cell A8. At this point I'm going to create what's called a function which will run a mathematical formula for me. So if I press the equal sign, every formula in Excel starts with an equal sign. You have to have an equal sign. That tells Excel you're going to be doing some sort of math or some sort of function. So I'm going to do equals, and the first thing I'm going to do is select cell A6. Now I could type in A6, but it's easier to click it in. And I'm going to say A6 plus, and I'm going to use my plus sign, and then I'm going to click in cell A7. So A6 plus A7. What it's going to do is add the numbers in those cells together, 10 plus 5. So when I press enter, it runs the calculation and I get the number 15. Now you might say, why not just add, say, equals 10 plus 5? I could do that, but by using cell references, what I have the ability to do is then change these numbers at any point, and it automatically updates the calculation. So instead of 10 plus 5, I might say 10 plus 7, change that number, hit enter, it automatically calculates and updates that cell. So in this case I'm going to say 10 plus 5, and I get 15. So that's a basic addition formula. Now, if I come down here and I click on sheet 2, I'm going to get a separate sheet. I want to show you something called sum, or in this case it's going to be called auto sum because it's going to automatically grab the numbers for us. I'm going to put in a series of numbers in a column. And what the sum button does, or the auto sum button does, is it automatically creates the formula for you and looks for all numbers above your current active cell. So in this case I'm in cell A6, so it will look for everything above cell A6. So it'll get everything in A5, A4, A3, A2, and A1. The auto sum button looks like an E, and if I click on that E, you'll notice that it automatically does my equal sign, and then this is a formula, and this is the name of a formula, and the name of this formula is sum. And if you think back to your math classes, you know that another word for addition is sum. And in our parentheses we have A1 colon A5. Now we read that A1 through A5, and really what this formula is saying is I'm going to add all the numbers that are in the cells A1 through A5. And you'll see that it even puts this blue box around as a border, letting you know where your range is, A1 through A5. So I'm going to press enter, and it automatically adds those numbers together for me. If I change one of those numbers, it would automatically update that total at the bottom. In addition to addition, we can also do some subtraction. So I'm going to head back over to my first sheet and go down here to my answer, and you'll see that in the actual cell it just has the answer. But if I come up here into my formula bar, you'll see that I see my formula of A6 plus A7. I could simply change that to a minus sign, A6 minus A7, press the enter key, and now you'll see it updates that change. 10 minus 5 is 5. I can do the same thing for multiplication. Now multiplication is interesting because on paper we usually use an X for multiplication. Well, the spreadsheet gets confused by that. It thinks it's a number. So for multiplication we have to use something a little bit different, and we use the asterisk. The asterisk is right above the number 8. So if you look on your keyboard and find 8, right above it is the asterisk, which means to get to it we need to do Shift 8, And you'll see in my formula bar I now have A6 asterisk A7. Hit enter, I should get 50. Yep, 10 times 5 is 50. And the final piece that we can do, if I go back to that one, is I can do division. Now once again, we don't have the typical division sign with the line and the two dots, one above and one below. But what we do have is our slash. If you think about a fraction like 1/2, what that's really saying is 1 divided by 2. So we can use our forward slash, which is the one with the question mark, on the same key. So I can do A6/A7 or A6 divided by A7. And I have 10 divided by 5 is 2. So you can run a whole series of formulas just by putting in the cell numbers, an equal sign, and the sign that you want.